Well, we have to go back. Here she is.
Okay, yeah, 13. And then we can start. When you
All
put
right.
your butt, I'm still, wait.
Oh,
Okay, now,
All right, I'm calling the meeting to order. It's in PM, and we're starting off with the roll. Madam Vice President, can you call the roll?
yes, I could. Sarah's gonna take the roll, right? I'll call it.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
recording.
well, then you can just call the names. I'd like a verbal.
Jasmine. Dolores. Here. Hunter. Candace. Laura.
Present.
Show. Michael Soderstrom.
Here.
Edward.
Here.
I'm here. Paula.
Here.
Grace. Corrine. Here. Teresa.
Here.
Michael Kimbrough.
Here.
Chris Carlson.
Here.
Diana. And Sue.
Diana? She's here.
She's
Thank
here.
you.
She's on Zoom.
Christopher Weed.
Here.
Betty. Marco. Thank you.
I'd just like to say that, and Grace and Marco excuse absences.
No,
Is
I
that
know
correct?
Hunter is out of town, Marco is out of country, and I don't know, Grace just said she would be.
She was unable. But those are excused, Laura.
All right, thank you, everyone. We are going to move on to the agenda,
Which is up.
which is up. Which I can barely see.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, I could make it bigger, but,
No, that's okay.
We've
Oh,
got-
that is better.
okay.
You can scroll through.
Now I just slide it in close. A little bit. Okay, on the agenda, this is Laura speaking. We have public comments, then appoint a candidate to fill our vacant seat. And that would be Joshua Pierce. He's on Zoom.
Okay,
Government agency reports and comments, brief presentation from the Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy, and then executive committee business, possible removal of one of our board members due to absences, president's report scroll too fast, treasurer's report, secretary's report, which will be approval of minutes, vice president's report, funding request, frozen, sorry.
okay.
Yeah, there we go. And then some committee reports that are primarily updates and pretty much adjournment.
Thank you.
So, and there's nothing needing to be tabled at this point.
All right, and we need to approve the agenda.
We always write that, but I remember that Gibson had told us that once it's published, we're not really
Okay.
supposed to be.
It's already, yes,
So we need to talk about this in executive and see if we should change it to name or
Okay.
template.
okay, because yes, I agree, it's already published, so what are we gonna?
So just review of the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah. review.
Right, but we keeping the same.
Right.
Template and-
Review and approval, but just review. Okay. Public comments, announcements,
I have a public comment.
okay.
The Gramercy house where we're located, they are going to be providing free COVID and flu shots to community members over 65. If there's anyone interested in finding out more about that, please email info@unnc.org and we will put you in touch with the people at Gramercy.
Is this published anywhere? Online or?
No, it is mainly open to the residents of the building, which is for seniors, but she presented it today and said that we could invite community members.
Any other,
Yeah, Annie has her hand raised.
okay,
Annie, go ahead.
Hi guys. For those of you who've met me before, you've heard me talk about how I'm the artist in residence at Amazing Grace Conservatory, and how we're creating immersive art that's going to be housed on a public website that's all centered around, the neighborhood of Sugar Hill, and preparing people for earthquake preparedness, as well as educating on the history, local businesses, and some of the systemic inequities when it comes to natural disaster relief. We did our beta test event, which had about 50 attendees, and we're starting to get our feedback back from that. And it seems like it's been very positive. Almost at the beginning of the event, according to the feedback before people attended the event, they were unlikely to neutral a majority of people to consider supporting local businesses in the area. After the event, over a third of people listed themselves as very likely to support local businesses, and lots of people are getting really good takeaways about wanting to take more action with actually preparing for earthquakes. So we're having our official really big event on June 23rd, and we're going to want to, try and partner with local businesses and get as many people involved. So if people would like to learn more about that or reach out to me, please feel free. My email is just my name, annie.lesser@gmail.com. Again, that's ANNIE.LESSER@gmail.com.
Annie, did you put that in the chat?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. And for those who are on Zoom, you can save the chat and keep reading.
Do we have any other comments or announcements? All right, then we are moving on. Thank you, everyone. Joshua Pierce, can you pull him up or?
Yeah, Joshua, can you not just go live, but when this is over, you'll need to stay live. And by the way, Diana, you should be on live to follow the rules, please. Hi, Joshua, I'm gonna pull up. Hang on, cancel that for a second. This is Laura again speaking from Executive Committee. The Executive Committee is recommending Joshua Pierce to fill our vacant at-large position that was held by
John?
I don't.
No. Who just left in December?
Greg.
Nope.
No,
Like
Greg is
Susan's?
area 4. I mean.
No. At-large.
Ariel was that one.
Oh my goodness.
Memorial.
Nuriel's
Okay.
position.
Okay.
I am sorry. Anyway, Joshua, I'm gonna pull up your application, but if you can introduce yourself and just actually talk it, because we're not gonna really scroll through it. I'm just gonna pull it up. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Joshua Pierce. Sorry I wasn't able to make it there personally. Work ran late and wanted to at least be here on Zoom. I live about an hour away, although I do own property in the neighborhood, so figured it best that I join you on Zoom rather than try to scream down the 110 and possibly miss the meeting. As I had mentioned, I've owned this house, 2288 West 20th, for about 2 years. It's been in my family for 50 years. And I wanted to get involved with the board just because that's the nature of what I've done for most of my career. I've worked in community development, worked with nonprofits, and have always had a desire to give back. So when I heard that there was a seat opening on the board, I definitely wanted to eagerly jump at it, get to know what's going on in the community, and see how I can be of service.
All right, thank you very much.
So
Is his application in the dockets?
it is. The application is in the online package. And does anybody have any questions?
But I would like to mention that Candace is not here, so Diana's welcome.
I didn't hear what you said.
What Well, two different things. So on this topic, does anyone have any questions? And on the topic of attendance, Candace is now present. So that will mean that
Oh,
our board members attending via Zoom
can't.
are, for our purposes, considered present, meaning they're not being marked as absent, but under state law, will now not be able to make motions or vote, but they can participate
Yes.
just the way we always do. But anyway, does anyone have any questions for Joshua? Teresa?
Thank you. Hi, Joshua. I just want to say it was lovely meeting you when we came to executive. And one of the things we talked about is the need for board members to participate in outreach activities and to show some interest in some of the committees that we have and leadership in some of these committees. Have you had a chance to look at some of the different committees, and how are you feeling about participating in some of our outreach activities?
With regards to outreach, I would love to get involved. You know, that's one of the staples of being in community development, is actually getting into the community and, you know, getting that grassroots, getting your hands dirty. So definitely on board for that. As far as the committees that are available, you know, professionally, I do have experience with the planning side. So the Planning and Development Committee obviously caught my eye, as well as the homeless outreach. I've been doing homeless outreach for at least 6 or 7 years now on a regular basis. And that's more of the nature of the nonprofits that I've worked with professionally as well. So those two committees, at least off the get-go, have caught my eye.
Great, thank you.
And let me share from his application, one of the questions that caught my eye: what makes your heart beat? What powers your passion? And he said he's self-motivated and self-driven. This stems from growing up in a single mother home, refusing to succumb to the cycles of others that others face with the same challenges. So thank you, Joshua. We are thrilled that you are interested, because we're always looking
Right.
for a few good men and or women.
So, executive committee had voted to have, to appoint Joshua, so Laura will make the motion. It requires a second from somebody who's not on executive committee.
I have a question.
Okay.
Joshua, hi, and welcome to our meeting of Dolores Spears, of course, on the board. We have monthly meetings, and we discuss issues that go on in our community and how we can enhance our neighborhood and enhance the knowledge of the stakeholders that we serve. And it's very important that we have our representatives on the board attend our meetings on a regular basis. And I'd like to know if you're committed to that, as opposed to just having something to go on your resume.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this isn't a resume filler. I sit on the board of, you know, four or five different organizations. So attendance is definitely something that I will make sure that I set a time, you know, set aside time in my schedule to make sure that I'm at as many meetings as needed, you know, going above and beyond.
Diana, I saw your hand sort of go up. Was that a hand up or a scratch? Did you? And you're also mute. You're mute. Oh,
There we go. No, I will do the hand gesture on the Zoom if I need to.
Oh.
Thank you.
And Joshua, can you remind me what you do for work day to day?
Yeah, absolutely. I am a law clerk at a small law firm here in Florence. And then I also sit on the boards of a couple of different nonprofits. One's in Bakersfield. It's a recidivism home for those that have been previously incarcerated due to drug use. I also work with a organization, as I mentioned previously, that does a lot of homeless outreach here in Los Angeles. So probably my biggest bread and butters right now.
Great.
Michael Kimbrough, I'm just not clear. Did I understand that you actually live in the district or own a home in the district?
Correct. I own a home in the district.
Where do you reside?
I reside in South Torrance near Palos Verdes. So on the border of South Torrance, Redondo Beach, and Palos Verdes.
Down the beach.
Palos Verdes.
Okay.
I guess that comes back to the point of, your commuting and being able to make the meetings. Even though you have stated that you are committed and we believe that, I guess I have some hesitation about the distance that you have to travel to make meetings.
No, I totally understand. It takes me about an hour to get down the 110 without traffic permitting. Even on some days, I can cut across and down La Cienega. It takes about 35 minutes. I'm down there about 2 or 3 days a week now, and it hasn't been an issue. It was just tonight, work ran a little bit late. So rather than miss the meeting completely, decided to hop on Zoom.
Because I believe how this all happened is that Ed
Yes.
twisted, his across the street neighbor, twisted his arm in person.
You didn't break it, did you?
I had your name on here, I just had a note, it's something that I forgot why, okay. It's a good fight.
But you-
Let me clarify.
But you see it, right?
Yes, let me clarify. Actually, we were talking about something totally different, which was the lighting on the streets. He was interested in our street lighting. And he is asking me if I knew how we could approach the city about getting additional street lighting. And then a few days later, something came out from the city for the council to attend regarding street lighting. Then I went to tell him about it, and he told me he had been to the executive board and everything. That's how that goes.
Oh, okay, that's how you're doing it.
All right.
And-
It didn't persuade me.
Oh, we got a second, we have a motion, we have a second, now we're gonna call for.
Is there any more discussion even though we had exceeded our 5 minutes? She said that in such a way that would not contribute to further discussion.
That's what I like to.
Okay, let's go for the follow-up question.
Dolores,
Yes.
Candace,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Michael Soderstrom,
Yes.
Edward,
Yes.
I am a yes, Paula,
Yes.
Corinne,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Michael Kimbrough,
Yes.
Chris Carlson, Christopher Weed,
Yes.
Betty,
Yes.
and that's it, motion passes.
Thank you. Welcome.
Too late to get out now.
Isn't that a song? Okay, moving on. We are doing the agency reports.
Right. So we have a mayor's rep,
And we
we do
have
not have
Nicole.
council district rep.
Bernard here representing the mayor's office.
Right.
Nicole? We're calling on you to report.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm here. My apologies for the background. I'm at my kids' back to school, so that's why it's background and chaotic. But I wanted to come on here and introduce myself. My name's Nicole. I'm the Southwest area rep for Mayor Bass. I cover everything Council District 8, and now I have everything Council District 10. So I felt like it was important for me to get on here, introduce myself. And then I also wanted to share too that I believe a little over a week ago, the mayor released her budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025. So we're just asking people to review it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And that's it. I'm going to leave my name and contact information on the chat, and I'll be on the call, but I'll be muted and off camera. So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
We
Any
have a
questions?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we have some questions.
Nicole, we have a question. I see you just went mute.
Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head, what is the annual budget for each neighborhood council next year in this proposal?
So I don't know what the annual budget is for the next proposal, but I would tell you that every single neighborhood council meeting that I have been to, and I've been to pretty much all the ones in South LA, because prior to the change, I've had all of South LA, but I know you guys aren't happy with the budget. I know that there's been requests to increase the budget, which my deputy mayor is aware of. I don't know, and the mayor is aware of that too. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I know they just hired the new Dunn general manager, and I don't know how the new budget is gonna play out, but everybody is aware that none of the neighborhood councils are happy with the budget and everybody's requesting an increase.
Well, I didn't necessarily mean I was unhappy because I have no idea what it is. But as long as, At least,
32.
it's still 32.
Yeah, I believe it's like 32,000 or somewhere around there. But I know like a couple years ago, you guys had 50,000 or something like that. And then it kept decreasing and decreasing. So
Well, it was 41 or 42
41,
pre-COVID,
okay.
and even in the COVID year, and they suddenly slashed it to 32 when the budget crisis hit in the middle of the, spring of the pandemic. And that's over and we didn't get the money back. Okay, and that's it from Laura.
Any other questions for Nicole? All right, thank you so much for
Of course.
to come on and share. We don't have CD10 reps here, neither Danielle nor Eric are here. We have Alfonso here, though our Dunn representative. Alfonso, do you have anything to report?
So today's the first day of the month, so it's kind of interesting because we aren't ready for reports, but I'll share the same in April. So again, I am coordinating, so I am assisting the coordinating Congress of Neighborhoods. They did ask for you to save the date for September 28th. And again, that event is at City Hall. It's an all-day event where we have workshops and training available for you guys. Food would also be provided. I know that they are asking for funding again, and the form is up. There's a new funding form for the Congress of Neighborhoods with the city clerk's office. Another thing I'm working on, and I know that the boards are aware of this, is the homeless liaisons. So we're hoping to have their first meeting next month. More than likely, the mayor's office will be providing updates with their homeless deputy. We're thinking about around the end of May, so around May 28th, save the date. And the invitation will be sent to the homeless liaisons. I know that I already signed them up and everything, so they'll be getting that soon. There is a motion on council for the new general manager. I believe her name is Cameron Chan. So all that info is up, and there's a news article about her. So, but nothing's finalized, and that's really it for me. Happy to answer any questions.
So what's happening to our interim?
What happened?
What's happening with our interim?
I know that she's staying with the department. Vanessa, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know what decision to take. That happens.
You have to write some letters.
It's her decision.
And we have Chris.
Concept, has everything been cleared so that I am allowed to know?
You're allowed to vote. I sent an email to Mario.
Okay, I got it.
And yeah, I sent another follow-up today before I left.
And did anything get communicated to Paula and our books?
Nope,
So,
it's not up there.
it's not up there.
Well, we know it's been communicated.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So if I'm not mistaken, last time we met, I had 3 outstanding classes that needed to be taken. One was the gender.
Right.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna,
the 2-hour thing. Then there was another one that was a short term, and then there was an ethics. That was probably.
and we're gonna be talking about all of this under my report. Thank you. Unless you have a question for Alfonso.
Well, I thought they were connected.
Yeah, they are, so those are all new.
So I took the gender appreciation, for lack of a better term, and when I went to take the ethics, which I thought would be next, it didn't show up as needing to be done.
Well, not only that, you didn't get a certificate on gender. So,
So I do know that with the new training with the gender one, there is 3 parts to it. It's kind of confusing. So the first place, it's only 3 questions, and they can continue. Or
I
unless.
did that, I completed one of them, completely done, and the certificate, it was just like 2 hours.
Yeah,
Okay, that's the one I did,
okay.
but there were 2 left. So but the ethics one, which is the important one, isn't showing up as having to be done, which is what I understood had to be done by a certain date in our last meeting. And I went to attack that problem and it was not there. And I just can't understand why this system, which is so important to everybody, is so screwed.
okay, Michael,
Yes.
Teresa's gonna.
Your ethics is not due until August 31st, so it wouldn't be there.
Okay, because that wasn't the.
However,
I thought I had it.
no, funding is the one
Oh,
that
okay,
expired.
Okay, but that one wasn't showing up. So let me go back and check. I may have been looking for ethics and not looking at funding, my mistake. So I'll check with it.
Yeah.
I know that I wanna say Cornerstone's not perfect, but it's the platform.
We hate it.
Yeah, everyone hates it. It's what we use. So, yeah, it's like, there's only so much that our admin team and IT team can do with it until they find a new software system. Contract.
So mentioning Cornerstone, were you able to approve Tori to as our homeless liaison chairperson to
Okay, so with the homeless liaison, or with anyone in the committees, I know that one of the requests is for the new code of conduct, right? That's what you're asking. So we have limited licenses for board members right now. So we're still trying to figure out the logistics of adding committee members, because there's so many, there's mayor council that have like over 200, I think. So there is a limit of the licenses we have. So what the department is recommending is that each NC have them sign it in paper and just keep it that way. So that way we can avoid them taking the code of conduct. And the bond would, either bond, it's gonna be taken from the bond and they're gonna decide what to do with it. If they're gonna waive it for committee members or not.
Okay, the reason why I asked is because the last meeting, Tori was concerned that she did not receive an invitation to participate in the women leadership convening. And we said the only way that she would be notified of that is if she had been on Cornerstone. So as a homeless liaison, and she is now, you have that information.
Yeah.
Or will those people be allowed?
It really depends on the event. So the women's leadership was only an invite for board members, not for committee members. So that's the way when we have emails, even if they're like members, we have their emails. So the only issue would be like she wasn't a board member, that's why she wasn't invited. But when we do have like, for example, the Congress of Neighborhoods where it's open to the public, anyone can just show up and attend that meeting, that event.
Thank you. All right.
Quick question, out of curiosity, do you know what the budget is for the Congress of Neighborhoods?
So, I know that they're asking for funds, it takes about 65,000 for them to put on the event. We don't know the exact number right now, how much money they have available, because the budget's still, I don't know, they have missing items and stuff. So, there's a guess that they might have like 30,000, so like 60,000, they really don't.
And I will say that I think on the next executive committee, we're going to put that on our agenda. That maybe the board will we'll have a discussion to see if we want to donate $1,000 to a supplemental fund.
So,
Wait a minute, Chris was.
A follow-up. So board members will get notified. If the board then contacts their community representative, like Tori for homelessness, will that then get her, is that a way we can acknowledge and get her registered so she can attend events and represent us?
Like I mentioned earlier, it really depends on the type of event. The women's leadership event was mostly for board, women who are board members. So that's why the reason it was only to board members. Most events are open to the community. Or for example, like this homeless liaison first meeting we have, she'll be invited to the department.
okay, so back to Congress of Neighborhoods and neighborhood councils submitting, voting to approve and then submitting a payment request. Is that deemed a check, meaning would we have had to have done it tonight or have to wait till July? Or is it deemed a transfer so we can vote on it in June?
So since it's like an interdepartment transfer, it would be that, it's not a check, it's just like they allocate money from the NC funds to the Congress of, they have a city fund.
So we have some flexibility to do
Yeah.
it in June or wait till the next budget year, which is July.
Yeah, you can do both. That's what they asked me.
What I'm really asking is, we always wanna conserve the 10,000 and roll it over, but if we have have money to like spend, we might wanna do that.
Yeah, so like.
So if they take it, anyway, so that's the question.
Yeah, so a lot of NCs I know by the end of June, there's some NCs that have like over $20,000.
Right.
And they'll,
That won't be enough.
it won't go over, right? The limit is 10,000, so they'll transfer $10,000 to the Congress of Neighborhoods. It hasn't been done.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you. Any other government agency reports,
Well,
representatives?
I see the principal from Click, who I don't know if she wanted to, she's online. I don't know. But, right, and I don't know if we wanted to take her into this because she wasn't here for public comments. No. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Dr. Henise. Spelled like, I probably meant, but do you want to take her under government reports, because we've gone through public comments?
Well, yeah, we've already passed comments, so, she's representing what?
Click.
Click,
Oh, it's the school of the.
Right, over school. All right, and is it, where is the representative from Click? Are you
Right here.
online or are you?
She's online.
She's online.
She's
Okay.
online.
Would you like to,
She's smiling at us.
We'll give you 5 minutes.
Two minutes.
Okay, did you have anything you'd like to say to us? We can hear you.
Hi, good evening. I'm just attending to listen in on what's going on in the neighborhood, and but I did want to say that we have a group that's meeting monthly, and we're really interested in traffic justice. And so I don't know if you've driven by on Venice and the news traffic light. So we've advocated for that, and in the fall, and I'll give you more information, we're having a festive event around Click, around the 2 crosswalks that are going to really highlight those crosswalks, and it'll be a performative event, and we're working with other community organizations like Walk LA to make that happen. So I just wanted to let you know it'll probably be in September.
All right, thank you, and I'm sorry, I cannot see your name.
It's Henise, Dr. Henise. Henise, Heneise.
You put it in the chat.
Yes, I will put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you very
Your
much.
contact information.
Yes, name and contact. All right, now we have a brief presentation that is going to be done by Andrea. And let us know who's represented.
So best if you're, this is best if you're there or there. Okay. Like on the other side.
Yes.
Just be careful.
Yeah, I think I'll go right over here. And
I think you might just have to make me co-host again.
Okay.
there we go. I had gotten kicked off of Zoom. If you don't mind putting me as the co-host once more, and I'm just gonna pull. In the meanwhile, I recommend taking one and passing it down kindly. One moment, folks, thanks for waiting.
Okay, well, let me just say this is Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy on its grocery and retail campaign.
Oh, look.
Okay.
You are good. Oh,
We're making it happen.
yeah, we just went away.
Yeah. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I prepared to not have a screen. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do it without the presentation. Okay, hi everybody, my name is Andrea Laughlin. I'm a community organizer with the Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy. So basically our goal in LA is to do collaborative efforts between union labor groups as well as community groups to make sure that all families within LA have sustainable jobs in order for us to all be uplifted in our general economy. So we work with a variety of different unions. So I work with the grocery and retail union in LA. It's called the United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 770. So UCFW. Yes, 770, sorry. There's a million acronyms in this world, as you all are aware of. And so they represent folks like CVS, Ralph's, Rite Aid, even into cannabis and just general retail. And so my reason for being here today is to talk to you all about Food for Less. I know that there's one specifically around the corner from y'all, about like half a mile on Western. And so I wanted to bring this up to you all as community leaders because I think it's important for you all to know what's going on with the workers at this store and also how that impacts your neighbors as well as yourselves. So just by show of hands, can I see who has shopped at a Food for Less? Or even been inside of one? Okay. Have a few folks also been to the one right here on Western? Okay, if I would be able to hear from maybe one or two folks, what has your experience been like when you go to a Food for Less?
Not enough tellers.
Not enough tellers, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. No one respects the 12 items or less policy.
No.
The 12 items or less, there's always people.
Yes.
Oh.
Drives me crazy.
Not enough tellers.
Right, yeah, that fits into the teller issue. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Not enough, variety. I guess. Yeah.
Not enough choice.
Not enough choice.
Right.
Okay, so I know this is not just Food for Less, but maybe you could put in a word.
Yeah.
I hate that all the personal stuff is like that, and then if you need some deodorant, you gotta like.
Okay.
And I know that's not just them.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, if you can put in a word or something.
For sure, yeah. So I'm hearing also like not enough like variety in the types of products that you want, and also the products that you do want are harder to obtain, you know, because they have it locked up. Oh yes, one more.
The produce, I don't even get my produce there for that reason.
Yeah. It's like as in they don't have enough variety, or is it more?
It's not good.
It's not
The
good.
quality, like if you go, you know, the Food for Less down the way there, and then Ralph's there, when you think about like the choices, what's gonna be the better produce? USC, that saved my life. But it's pretty rotten.
No, thank you for sharing that. And yes, one last one.
Yes, my concern is that they've cut down from the size of the cans or the packages that is being sold, and the prices are much, much higher. And our store, Food for Less, has now really started putting a lot of big cans on the shelf. And those are usually third grade. Now we have it in our, and I have a great concern with those issues.
Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing that, and to all of you. The reason why I'm asking this, I'll be getting there. I just have one other question. Who has been to a Ralph's before? Okay, is there a difference between the Ralph's experience and the Food for Less experience?
Yeah, it's on the Ralph's.
Okay.
To tell us what the experience is. It's food for less.
Right.
That's my one critique. I will say, I have a Food for Less very close to my house. We moved there and I thought, oh, I'll check this out. It's less, right? It was more expensive than going to Ralph's outside the neighborhood.
Right, and so you all are touching on the issues that we're seeing across LA County, actually. So I've been having this conversation with different community groups in different parts of town because Kroger, who owns both Ralph's and Food for Less, is creating a very different shopping experience for these two stores. We're calling it a tale of two stores in the same city, right? And so why is it that we are seeing these types of differences going on? It's because Kroger is not investing as much money into our Food for Less stores as they are with their Ralph's. And there's three main examples that I can give about this disinvestment. So firstly, it's the location of these Food for Less stores. If you zoom out and you take a look at a map of LA County, you see that there's no Food for Lesses on the west side. Right. There's only Food for Lesses in the Valley, East LA, South LA, and Southeast LA.
Yeah.
Right? And then secondly, the folks that are working there, you know, they both have the same jobs at these stores, right? We have cashiers, we have, you know, baggers, we have the stockers. The workers at Food for Less are making $4 less than the ones at Ralph's. For the same exact job, from the same exact company.
So you should be calling yourselves work for less.
Not only do they work for less, but actually Food for Less stores make more money for Kroger per square foot and per hour than Ralph's.
You have about 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry, pardon?
I said 2 minutes.
Okay, sure. And so I bring this all up to you, and I can take a few maybe comments or questions afterwards, just so I can finish my points here. And so I bring this up because we see that these Food for Less stores are in communities of color, and they're being disinvested in. These are the stores that our community members, maybe ourselves, are relying on for our access to fresh food, for household goods, for pharmaceuticals, for personal and hygiene care, and we're not getting the same experience. So right now, Food for Less, their workers are in contract negotiations with Kroger. And so what they're trying to do differently is that they're trying to I'm trying to help build that bridge between the community members and the customers and the workers. Because we're all putting money into Kroger as a company, so why is it that we're not seeing that investment back into our communities? We've been doing a community survey where the majority of folks that have responded so far have noted the exact same things you all have said. They want better produce, they want more variety in their food, they want more cashiers and more people on the floor, so that way people can answer their questions and can also refill their stocks. So I'm here today just to ask you all, firstly, I will send it via email as well, but I have a QR code. I would love to hear from you in regards to a community survey. What has your experience been like shopping at Food for Less? And what would you like to see out of your community grocery store? Because this is a store that all of our neighbors are relying on for access to food. And then secondly, we're doing a community roundtable where we meet regularly about every 5 weeks, and we come together from different organizations across the county, and we talk about these issues, and we also try to figure out how can we develop a more sustainable approach to the grocery stores that we have in our communities. How can we demand more from Kroger when they certainly have enough money to pay for it? So I'll pause there.
Okay, thank you. Is there one else? Did you have a question? Okay.
I'm sorry, never mind.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was very informative. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Pass these two pieces of paper around. It's the QR code. You use your camera. There's also the link here, and I will send it via email. That way it's as accessible as possible. But I would love to hear from you folks.
We are going to continue on, and isn't it interesting, we sent a letter, or I sent a letter to, Josephine, because she's had many absences and she's here with us now. And so, the bottom line of the letter said, if you choose to give a statement to the board, we, will be convening on May the 2nd, or you have the option to not attend. So I'd like to open the floor to you.
Did you want to explain to the board why we're doing this?
You sent the letter to me? It was an email. It wasn't. Yes, so, please note that, you've missed meeting dates. Here's a list of the dates: meeting 9/1, governing board meeting 11/3, governing board meeting 12/1, governing board 3/7, and 4/4. So there's been a total of 5 absences, for the governing board.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Was she brought before the executive committee before bringing her?
I invited her to executive. She did not attend.
Okay.
But you need to have a clear picture. I'm sorry, Shoki, but she's attended 4 board meetings in person and 1 board meeting on Zoom before we were allowed to attend on Zoom. We didn't count that as one of the 5 absences, but it was also not present. So she's been present for 4 meetings plus this one. since she joined the board.
And so back to, would you like to address us? Do you have anything that you'd like to say? You want to continue on the board and, what would be your commitment from here?
Well, first of all, my apologies for, I guess, missing, I don't remember missing that many. But as it stands. And of course, I want to continue. I do travel quite a bit. I'm a speaker, world class, top elite, as hip hop speaker of the world. So it's a little difficult sometimes with the schedule, which was why I was advocating for the ability and capability of being online.
Which you can't have.
Right. Yeah, so. But of course, I'd love to, this is show speaking, sorry, I'm not on, but I would love to continue being involved. I enjoy my time here. And I do travel a lot, so if that would be an issue, if I can attend on Zoom, that'd be great. And I should keep better track of the meetings that I miss too.
All right, thank you. All right, so,
Question.
Yes.
So, when all of us join this board, we all give a commitment to our stakeholders that we represent, to be present in our meetings, participate in our meetings, and participate in our outreach events. So, to miss that many meetings and to say now, I want to stay on the board and I will continue and I'll try to keep up, you have to give a real commitment here. Like I was just saying to the new person that was just appointed to the board, that we expect attendance. I take my time to come here, all of us take our time to come here, so if you really want to represent the stakeholders in your community, you have to give a real commitment to participate, not only in our meetings, I know the meetings are boring sometimes, we don't want to be here, but as well.
Thanks.
Well, sometimes we want to.
I'm excited that we can talk before.
I threw myself
right
today.
But to not only participate in the meetings, but participate in our events as well, because that's what our stakeholders expect from us, and that's why they elected us to the board. So, going forward, I would say you would have to give a real commitment before we would have to be in this position again. Just my opinion.
2 cents. How do we quantify that? Or is that just, are we asking for that?
Guys. I don't have to be, this was my commitment to my community, so however it's voted or whatever, it's fine.
Oh, the other thing that I wanted to bring was that you don't necessarily have to be here, even if you're out of town. We've had board members in the past that were out of the country.
Yeah.
And did.
Not under the new rules.
No, I'm just giving that as an example.
So I would like to.
Wait, please. I was just giving that as an example. I know under the new rules, we can't do that. But there was a commitment from the other board members when they were out of the country.
Yes.
Still had to made the time to attend on Zoom. So I'm just saying when you say you want to continue with the board, you have to say that with a real commitment to be on the board, is all I'm saying.
For which I stated, I don't know how that's perceived, but I can only be me 100% of the time. And that's my plea to this community.
I'm sorry, you were trying to say something, Teresa?
Well, as you know, the executive committee is recommending, Cheryl King's removal for absenteeism. So I am putting forward that motion, to remove her from the board from lack of absenteeism, or for absenteeisms. Is there a second?
And it has to be a non-executive committee meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, now we open it up for discussion.
All right. I understand the recommendation to remove her from the board, but I recall a couple of years ago where we had a board member that was constantly on travel and missed a lot of meetings. And we sent him the notices you know, you miss this number of meetings and you need to show up. And then finally I had to send him as a secretary of the job, I mean, the vice president, I hated that part. Where I had to send him the notice to appear before the executive committee to give accounting himself. And then it was brought before the board. Well, the board voted to keep him on after he gave a commitment with the understanding that if we got in that same position again, it would be an automatic removal. So my position is that if she says she's gonna give that commitment, I would give her that opportunity with the understanding that she'll get kicked off if we get into this position again.
So I would also say that Paula and Laura did reach out to the city attorney and that the procedure that we had to follow is no longer necessary. So they sent the email, they followed the correct procedure based on the rules from the city attorney. So
From
via
Alfonso.
So they've changed since then, Dolores.
They've changed a little bit.
So, just to clarify, the reason why this is here is because the bylaws state, for absences, you have to be brought in front of the board. And they sent you an email, which is kind of like a courtesy email, and if you didn't receive that, that's not the issue here, the issue is your absences. So with the, yeah, so just to give you a word.
Yeah.
I second that.
Okay. Any other questions?
Perhaps, I was just gonna say, perhaps this is an opportunity simply to improve standards from what they were before.
Chris?
Since you mentioned you have a lot of travel, it's important to understand that the rules for the meeting on Zoom have changed. And going forward, you have to be within the city limits.
So county
The county?
or California. Well, where you can't be is Macedonia. We had
You know, Laura, let's work on Macedonia.
So what, I think we need to clarify what the regulation is.
Alfonso's gonna give us.
Okay, so I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, right? You're supposed to be within the city of LA.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna police you and check you or track you to make sure that you're in the city of LA. If they were to ask you where you're at, you're in the city of LA. Does that make sense?
It's like when you're in the court, you're not really in. This no man's land territory.
Okay, can we call for a question? So the motion was to remove Chopin, and it was seconded. Okay, so now we.
Can we make an amendment so that we're?
Well, we could change the motion, we can just vote it, yes or no. If the motion fails, then we can do another motion.
That's what I'm trying to eliminate a vote. So if we have an idea that we're all gonna vote, or many of us will vote no on this, and we'll have to vote again, I'm trying to kind of make that more efficient.
So is,
Could you table?
well, no, I don't think that's what we're trying to get to. I think we're trying to get to
You could table.
what yeah, but what.
That's true, there's really no I mean, if she's making a commitment to.
Okay.
It's already been seconded, so there's
Yeah.
an amendment or not.
Yeah, I think there's something on the floor, if you wanna make an amendment to the
That's what I
motion
was
that I
asking.
made, what is your amendment? And then I'll let you know if I want to accept it.
Yeah, my amendment, to, give some more time and, let's see, where are we? Yeah, exactly, because I feel like we did that with someone when I first joined the board, I can't remember his name, but I think it's the same case you're talking about, and I think that, you know, that can help just.
Okay, may I try? What I think is what's going on is that we want to say, this is your a motion that this is your final warning if you miss one more meeting.
Unexcused.
Unexcused. It's an automatic removal from the board, so that we wouldn't have to vote one more time. That we'd be voting on an automatic removal for an unexcused absence.
But then you're still, okay, so you're amending them?
Well, I'm
Maybe we should just vote on the original amendment and then
Yeah.
All right.
So the original motion was for removal, it was seconded. We're gonna call for.
And a yes is removal and a no is not.
Correct, yes. Yes, it is a removal. All right,
Dolores?
No.
Candace.
No.
Laura.
Yes.
Michael Soderstrom.
Yes.
Edward.
Abstain.
Show can vote, right? Correct?
Vote.
Rating, yeah.
Vote
Yeah.
for yourself.
Vote for me.
No, she can't.
Trainings,
Yes.
sorry.
And I know we're in the middle of the vote, but that's the other issue here, that Cheryl has not, 5 months, 6 months, she has not taken the training.
Well, she did to correct the problem.
Yeah.
Something happened.
So
I thought she was having the same problem as Chris.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. I'm a no. Paula?
No.
Kareem?
No.
Teresa?
Yes.
Michael Kimbrough?
No.
Chris Carlson?
Stay.
Christopher Weed?
Yes.
Betty?
No.
Motion fails.
So just so I understand, the board has voted to allow Cheryl to remain on the board, even though she has in violation of our bylaws by missing 5 times.
So,
That's
well,
what-
that's
the
where
vote.
it stands now, but
Yes.
it's my understanding that there was going to be a second motion
Yes.
that if she gets into the same position again, that she would be automatically dismissed.
Right.
Did you?
And I don't
make a
even, I
motion?
would like to make the motion not if she gets in the same situation again, if she has another unexcused absence.
Okay.
Just one, if she has another unexcused absence, she will be removed.
I'd like to add to that.
Okay.
I'd like to discuss the number of excused absences before we move on. I think 1 is a little bit too short of a.
No,
But she's already missed
I
5.
understand. Okay, well, this is just my.
Okay,
If
so
you don't like what I'm saying, fine, but let me have my say.
Okay,
That's all.
so the motion on the floor was 1 more. Is there a second for that?
I second.
Okay, so there's a second, so then, we're gonna vote.
Discussion?
Can we have discussion?
Yeah, discussion on that. So the, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious, that 1 more, what kind of time frame? I mean,
Thank
are we talking for the
good
rest of
point.
this, are we talking for the rest of the fiscal year? Are we talking-
Rest of-
What's the time frame?
So left
I know.
in the fiscal year,
I know.
so
So that's what I'm asking the question.
if you can't come to all the meetings within the next month, then there's no point in you being on the board.
Is that the time?
I'm saying, what is the time?
Okay, I think the time frame is for the duration of the 2-year period, if it's unexcused. I mean,
Yes.
remember, we're talking about unexcused.
That's what I meant.
But we also need to point out that what's an excused absence?
Yeah.
Your grandchild's having a baby? Yes. It's your birthday? No.
You're out of town.
For work and it's unavoidable? Yeah, that's excused. For.
But if you're on the board and you know the meeting is coming up and you know.
If
took
you
your
can
vacation.
schedule your vacations,
Understood.
no.
Can I propose a probation?
Well, that's what essentially, well, yeah.
That after 6 months, we let her out of jail. Or, she doesn't have to see a probation.
We weren't doing 6 months, we were talking about the rest
Well,
of
we
the.
did say 10, well, the bylaws say,
4-year tenure, which is for me, is 4 years.
I mean, it's a
So-
problem.
So if she misses one more meeting for the rest of her tenure,
Unexcused.
she's out. Is that what we're saying?
And Alfonso definitely said, try attending by Zoom. So unexcused would be, you're not here, you're not
Yeah, it's
there.
even easier
You
now.
never
You don't
told
have to
us
physically-
and you had no good reason. But, you have to tell us if, and you have to hear yes or no, that's a good reason. I mean, maybe that's an unreasonable standard, but that would be how I interpret that.
And
Can I ask you a
these
question?
excuses are not subjective, they are listed in the bylaws, what an excused absence is, thank you, Ben. Also, the other thing, if you're gonna be absent, let the president or vice president know.
I was gonna say, I'm not saying we need to go back and talk about history, but if these were for her speaking work, those were, okay, I don't know, I wasn't in this conversation. I'm just saying,
But their excuses
She's-
require
Yeah.
No, fish.
That-
It-
that's
it-
what
it-
the
it's-
question was.
Show is trying to speak.
Yeah, that was my question, was is it the prior notification, is it the, oh, here's my calendar, is it the, you get what I'm saying, like, I don't.
I think it's, at least for me, it's clear that we meet the first Thursday of every month.
Right.
If you cannot see your schedule that far ahead, then your business is not running efficiently.
It's running very efficiently, however, my question was about not necessarily the calendaring. I remember there was a couple of times I couldn't log in, I literally just learned how to do the thing from the website. Very, not easy to figure out. Log in to get on here.
I was running late tonight.
It wasn't easy, it wasn't easy for
Said I
me
was gonna be late. I
Speaking
mean,
for myself, the show came,
Okay.
it was not as simple for me to figure out how to log in on Zoom. And I remember stating that in one of the emails saying, hey, I've been trying to log in, I couldn't figure it out, and I think she answered. However, that was unpredictable. Understand? I'm not arguing for or against, whatever is decided is decided. I'm still gonna be 100%, and so are you.
Okay, so where are we now? Were you saying something, Sarah? No?
I do need to know who made the motion and the second to this one. The motion to remove if there's another unexcused absence.
I made the motion.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank
Laura
you.
seconded.
Laura seconded diplomatic.
I'm sorry?
Laura seconded.
Oh, they said Corinne second, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Corinne said, I think it's just fine if Corinne seconds.
Yeah, yeah, so we have it in.
Can I amend this to make it conditional on the completion of the training as well?
Yeah.
You know.
oh,
Yeah.
Training.
We should amend this, or I'd like to amend it to make it conditional on completion of the training.
Bye, everyone, sorry.
Andrea said touch proud. Get out of here.
Training.
Yeah.
Not claim she missed a meeting, but,
But to include her completion of training.
is there a time limit on
Yeah, and will the screenshot of my completion of training suffice?
that? Yeah.
Because I did the training July, 2 July ago.
Okay, but that one.
If you have a screenshot, just provide that to me.
I did that 2 July ago.
Okay, provide.
Not a problem. But see, the same level, you know, the same energy, the same, you feel me, like.
There's only one screenshot.
But and even that, I mean,
And even that?
no, and even that, I think I had sent to John, and it was not quite the same situation as Chris, but similar. But I didn't see two different screenshots, also.
I can look.
Hang on, I can look.
Isn't the requirement of done when someone hasn't taken the training that you reach out to them and you?
So, yes, that's correct. So that's how it was until this new training came out, and they have to carry.
Yeah, we're not talking about that, we have ethics and funding training for who that is.
Yeah, but like I said, before we would send an email letting the board member know that they haven't completed the training, or if their ethics had expired or the funding, but that system went away with this new trainings, because that is actually taken away from them, and it's more of a responsibility for the neighborhood council. So that's the difference.
So Christopher wanted to amend this to be conditional on completion of training as well as. I'm sorry?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so, I'll add that in. So
Is
maybe,
that-
Are you
Was that in a second?
You agree with that?
You made the motion, Paula, that you have to accept his.
Yes, I accept it.
Okay.
Now, we need a second for that, is that correct?
The person who seconded it needs to accept it, and we're now at Corinne had seconded, not Laura.
Are you seconding?
The amendment.
What's their mouthful?
With her mouth, she said, okay.
Call for a question?
Can you read it?
Yeah, restate.
the motion is to remove Show King from the governing board if she has another unexcused absence. And,
Automatically remove her.
thank you, and conditional upon completion of training.
Within a time period? I don't understand.
3 months,
No,
2 months?
to complete the training?
Training,
No.
that should be one.
Very.
It's already been 5 months, 6 months.
Well, June 3rd is a month from tomorrow, and everything's due June 3rd.
Right.
So we could
So
just say,
June 3rd.
by June 30th. I know. That's something to talk to the city about.
Once you get, if it's a problem done, then you can't be held responsible for that.
Yes,
I
I
have no idea what the issue is, I did it all on the same day.
That's it.
So it's just.
Okay, so shall I just remember,
Okay, so this is the final, at least this, unless somebody wants to make something perfect.
Go ahead.
Motion to remove Show King from governing board automatically if she has another excused absence and conditional upon completion of training by June 3rd.
All right.
All right, and that was, Paula and Karina. Okay, Dolores?
Yes.
Candace?
Yes.
Yeah.
Laura?
I think yes. I'm looking for her certificate.
Sorry.
Michael Soderstrom? Edward?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Paula?
Yes.
Kareem?
Yes.
Teresa?
No.
Michael Kimbrough?
No.
Chris Carlson?
Yes.
Christopher Weed?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Motion passes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'm not gonna be.
So Shelley has forwarded the certificates and
I think one of the things that's important for all of us to recognize, if this discussion seems harsh, it's actually because we all want the same thing. You want to be on this board, you want to be positive for the community. We want you on this board, and we want you to be positive for the community. But the barriers to do that are to get the training in place so that your voice and you can vote for your community on issues that matter to you, to the community. And that you can be a fully participant by being present either by Zoom or in person here. So we all want that goal. And so if the conversation, it's not a question of anything except making sure we move the conditions so you can do the thing that you say you want, and we all would like to have that. So
All right, thank you. We're moving on. The next thing is my report. And we just had the Earth Day Art Fest, and that I volunteered for along with Laura and Marco, Ed Saunders, and Tori Bailey. So we had a good representation at the event, and the event was successful.
Wait a minute, Elizabeth Fenner didn't show up?
Oh, Elizabeth was there, I'm sorry. Elizabeth was there, she was there to greet me. Myself, Laura, Marco, Ed, and Tori. All right, so we're gonna move on to the treasurer's report. Candace?
Alright, I'm not presenting in minutes, but I have the MER.
She has a lot of specials.
I understand, but the first item is I'm gonna share the screen with you when you get to it.
I found the reading glasses again.
My birthday's tomorrow. Well, June 16th, and guess what? I was
First
born
item
in
is for my birthday.
75. I'm so
Every time it changes,
Nothing changed. That's a good thing. Don't you put out my hair walk? That my grandmother did. But that's a good thing. Keep on going.
I don't quit counting.
Let me see, do we-
That's right.
And I'm thankful.
That's right.
Can we,
Okay, Candace, are we ready for you?
we are,
That's the MER.
this is for March, but also,
We can only do this first.
we can only do this first, and then I'll, walk through the page with the graphs and stuff, so I could explain some.
And can you do that a little bigger or no?
I can do it bigger, well, I can't do much. Here, just move the. I'm just, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and begin, Candace. Time
Okay,
is-
so this is our MER for March. April's not ready yet. I went in there today to see. And so the top part is from March. And I'll hold on that part because it makes more sense to explain it from the current screen because these aren't the numbers anymore. So we can look at what we spent in March. So we paid our public storage, we paid for the internet, We also processed snacks and refreshments for the emergency cert, and also got Subway for the emergency cert. We got things from Print Depot for the outreach committee. We had the Thai food was the reimbursement
Laura got that.
for the Laura on the card. And then the PO box we paid for. And the PO box is in 2 payments, so we did the first one in the fall, and then we also were able to finally clear up the MPG for the architectural communities, and that was the group that was shooting the.
But we only have 1 payment for the post office box, for the PO box. We don't have 2. We did another outreach thing with the mailing, Jefferson Park, because they didn't get their things.
It's a weird, almost coincidental amount, but the one in the fall
The
was for
one in the
postcards, was for the
okay.
mailing of
Yes.
postcards.
Okay, so that's our payment for that. We did a couple reimbursements, one for Chris, one for Mr. Loris. There was the thing with Project Pitt, but then after doing some research, it's not a thing. So Project Pitt reported that they received 2 checks. They did, but both of those checks were not from us. They had funding from Empowerment Congress West. So one of the checks is from them, the other check was from us, but it just says the city clerk's office. So she reached out to us and said she mistakenly got 2 checks, but she did not. So that's cleared up, so that went through. And then the 4 imprint is our wonderful t-shirts by the outreach committee to have us fresh events. So I moved for the board to accept the March 2024 March. Approve.
I second.
And we can just do a show of hands?
No.
No, we have to actually do.
Who was the motion, I'm sorry?
Does it say there we have 17,000?
Don't even look at that.
She's gonna give us a.
We got
She moved.
Candace moved.
Okay,
And I seconded.
thank you. And this is the March MER, correct?
Yes.
I have April 1st down.
Yeah, no, because April.
Yeah, I realized that after. So, I'm sorry, Teresa moved, no, Anne moved second. I can't take a month off apparently. That's,
Is that right? Or is that you?
No, that's not me.
All right.
okay. We're voting on the MER, Dolores,
Yes.
Candace,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Michael, Soderstrom, sorry. Edward, I'm a yes, Paula,
Yes.
Corinne. Yes. Teresa,
Yes.
Michael Kimbrough, Chris,
Yes.
Christopher Weed,
Yes.
Betty,
Yes.
motion passes, thank you.
All right, thank you, Candace. And we're moving on to the secretary's report.
No, four items on this.
Oh.
Yeah, we just did one.
Okay.
That's right.
But I don't have anything for you to see,
Well,
Sharon.
reimbursement.
I mean, I don't know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, to pull up the screen with the.
We don't have the, you can give it to me.
But Laura, just log into the main screen.
That's what I'm
The neighborhood portal, so.
Yeah, so then that way I can share the screen and just show it. That would be under funding update.
Okay, where am I going?
Okay, that's
This
report
goes
time.
Oh, you have your password, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
Candace, do we have any board member reimbursements this month?
No, because I feel like.
That's fine, I just wanna make sure I
We
put
put it
it
on
on
the part, yeah. Sorry, this will be just a second. So I can log in and walk you all through.
Are you busy?
I probably should just put it on my computer, so. I'll be fast, I promise.
Not anymore. Yo, my life. My hands are a mess. Okay, so wait a minute, now I need to share that so people on Zoom can see it too.
Hold on, there's Zoom.
Do you know how from our Zoom?
Yeah, Zoom like different.
No, it's not.
All day. Wait, where? Okay, go to here, because it's gonna be within now. Yes, go this way, and then the one they go back here. Okay, shift. Where are you going? Go back to your.
Now you need to share. You need to share.
Okay.
And then we'll go scroll down.
Wait, hold on, you're supposed to go down. Don't eat, that's where you're supposed to come.
She's already.
She's share. She wants to share one of the tabs that she
Yeah,
has up.
right, isn't that from?
No, that's the Zoom. Or might be. Let me see. Are you sure? No. Okay, no, yes, I saw LA City. Right. You just grab this. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, I do this at work. Okay. I was trying. No, I think so. All right, so. Oh, all right. Okay, so we are getting towards the end of the fiscal year, and we have actively one more month to do anything by check. So just as an update, everything that we have approved already before this meeting is already accounted for in the numbers that we see here.
All right.
And this is via Anna. We had a nice little meeting today and kind of looked through all of the things to make sure we have an accurate, accurate number of where we are. So our total budget at the beginning of the year was $48,563.04. That includes a rollover amount of $5,988.04 from last year, and also the money that's accrued for the tree care. So that's already counted, we did know it's still there, it's fine, okay. So in the outstanding amount, so to date, we spent about half of it. And then we have this amount that's outstanding. So the outstanding amount is basically the Rediscover MPG that we approved in April, Hunch's reimbursement, the tree care amount. There's also the MPG for Ignited Light, which I'm working on with Ms. Bailey, and the amount for the event that we're having in June comes out of the net available. So I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, that's why you see the $6,000. So those are all the things that the clerk's office is processing right now. Okay.
So if I were to click on payments, am I gonna see that you put in as a holding place?
Yes.
The Discover?
Yes, all that stuff is in it. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to confirm, so that $6,000 is Rediscover.
Yes.
Hunter's reimbursement.
Yes.
The tree care.
Yes.
And Ignite Light.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right,
And
so.
resource days.
See, so in other words, since after you're not up, there's these two.
Yeah, okay, so everything that we've already voted on to this point is already accounted for, right? So then the math that I ended up having to do to make sure that we have everything, well, we voted as a board to shift some money around. So I did that in April, so that was applied. So our MPG amount was increased. We have $9,250 total for MPGs. And once I added the MPG for Rediscover, we have $500 MPG left. So we have funded all our MPGs up to this point, and we have $500 MPG left. So that's how much we have left for MPGs. And then outreach is under the larger generational and general and operational office budget, but to date, outreach has spent $6,917, and that includes June's event as well. So they're on track, they're fine. We still have stuff left. So in accounting for the items that we have left to close out the fiscal year, that's the public storage unit,
and some legal, so don't always say her name right, and the $2,000 that we voted on to increase or improve our Zoom technology. Bottom line numbers are, we have 500 left for MPGs. We have 500 left for MPGs, about 5,050 in office expenses. So our total left for the fiscal year is $7,169.75. What's it?
So that's the amount that we.
The amount that we have left for the total year, less the things we still have to pay that are on auto pay. That's also about $400 for reimbursement for the food that we have, because that budget is $200 a month. So that plus the Zoom Winkle money for Ann, Zoom Winkle, and the remaining payments on the public storage. I feel like those are the only auto
And
payments.
Zoom, we have it's not automatic, but our Zoom account is $160.
Okay, so that'll take us to $7,000.
Can we roll that over?
Yeah.
So we can roll over up to $10,000. I see that we have a funding request. We could still do that if we want to. My thought is maybe we should just roll the 7,000 over, but if we wanted to donate, do like $1,000 for our funding request, and maybe like $1,000 to the neighborhood Congress, because I saw that email that they reached out, that would leave us with about $5,000 to roll over to the nation. But other than that, I don't think we should vote for anything massively expensive and just roll over the 5.
Okay.
So back to the numbers, you said 500 for MPGs.
Yeah, we have 500 left for.
Well, if we want to use it, we don't have to.
Yeah. So we have 500 left for MPGs, because all of the ones we voted to the state, we funded. Yes.
Wouldn't that vote for that be more appropriate at next month's meeting?
Correct. Well, okay, we can't vote for an MPG next month,
Yeah, but at
because
least then we know the number.
we cannot vote for an MPG next month.
Because they get paid by a check.
We can't vote on
Yeah.
So we can vote for it in July with the next year's budget, or we could vote for it tonight.
No, I was
with this
looking
year.
for the rollover of the amount.
We don't vote on the roll.
Did Anna give you the deadlines of the dates?
Yeah, we have it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the last meeting where we could vote on something that uses a check, and then they distribute the check, because I think the deadline for that is June. And then credit card deadlines are like the end of June.
Not really, the 15th-ish.
Let me just say, sorry.
I was gonna ask Laura, I asked her last month about our business cards, what's happening with that?
Most likely next budget year.
Huh?
Most likely at this point, next budget year, I mean, unless Hunter's around to make them.
Oh, right.
And he's out of town.
Well, I guess the comment I want to make is that next year is election year, so if we could carry over, it's close to $10,000, it seems like it's only 7,000 now, then we can have that to do some outreach for next year's election. Not for the people who are running, but to get more people to run, to get more people to participate. I mean, I like the idea of carrying over a large amount of money, so that gives us a substantial amount next year.
Yes.
You got this
Yeah, so that's how we did it.
Okay,
So the answer to that question with business cards will be next year.
Well, most likely, I mean, we can use a credit card to pay for them, but Hunter's away. I mean, Tori wants business cards, Dolores wants more business cards, I don't know if anybody else.
Their business cards are already in the Print Depot.
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, that's what we used last time.
But
So
who changes the name and contact info on each card?
Well, Dolores and Tori already received cards, so that information is right there.
Tori never got a card. Dolores,
When Raheem was
I
here,
used all mine, that's why.
Dolores,
when Raheem was here, he never designed cards for Tori.
correct. So Dolores could get a rerun of her card, but someone has to do, I mean, Raheem could do it, he knows how to do it. Put in Tori's information.
So all I do is just call Raheem, I don't have to, it's not voted on, it's an administrative cost.
We have to do a BAC.
For a BAC for the cards?
Yep.
But since you have so many new people, maybe we should wait until.
Yes, can you wait?
I mean, and we can also do digital cards and those.
I can write my stuff on a piece of paper.
This is number 4.
Yeah, that's a quick, you know, can we wait, then when we put in the order, any new members on the board?
So I took all the stuff that was recurring, and we're doing that. Okay, so our final. Exactly. Yes,
But there's also, let me go in my cruise.
I
would like to, I don't know if we have to go to.
So it's about $1,000 that we will have once everything.
Take what to, Cindy?
Because we do have so many new people who don't have cards, maybe we should make that effort now to get everybody.
Right.
Who wants business cards,
Yeah,
because some people only want.
Well, the new people might want that digital thing.
Yeah, QR code, we had some dots.
And it's tap issues on his phone and your information goes into the. I was something I can hold in my hand and give it to people. I'm old fashioned, I'm sorry.
But Anna did, estimates, so it's about.
Okay.
So the point, but also the certificates, we always forgot about that.
So the point, we will have about $7,000 once our recurring payments are done and we spend the $2,000 on the new. So that's how much we would have around to roll over to next year. Yes.
And I would suggest that we wait till our next meeting, take up who all needs a business card and submit that, with next year's budget.
Okay, call up on.
Yeah.
Really wanted to do
I wanted to follow up because the question had been raised about the tree care, and I have confirmation, we have our permit.
Oh, wait,
But
hold on.
this is a money thing.
Yes, it is, but I was just talking about the business card.
We're talking about business cards. We are able to use, we paid for that with credit cards. So the basic thing is, tonight, if we were gonna want to use the checkbook for any purpose, we would have to go tonight. But for credit cards, and we'll have a much clearer idea.
Business card.
Yeah, the use of the credit card is good through June 15th. So
Okay.
any credit card payment can be voted on at the June 6th meeting.
Okay.
If there was any reason to use a credit card for any reason whatsoever.
All right, so my recommendation is that we obey this business card discussion until our next meeting.
Okay.
All right?
All right, that's all.
So I have confirmation that the quote that we received almost a year ago, they will honor that quote. It has not changed in price. So the question that was before us, if there was any change in that amount, because that was the amount that the city clerk had, we needed to know and be able to respond. So there will not be any change from that quote. We have a neighborhood meeting this weekend to repatriate any plants that have been put into the beds and to remove any pencil plant because that's against city regulations. So that will happen this weekend. And then the tree care LA has already reached out to Diggler to get the, it takes about a week to a week to get Diggler to come and verify that everything is clear and they can do the removal. So they've already placed that call to get us on that calendar. And then they are able to, as soon as they have the approval from the Diggler, then they can schedule and have, Space and Account come out ASAP. And we get the removal in and submit to the city. So that's the update I have.
So that's awesome. I also saw those emails, so when I had my meeting with Anna, she asked me and I gave it up to her. So she said it's fine as long as we submit it in May.
Yep.
Before
On the tree care invoice, it's made out to UNNC?
Yes,
Okay.
she did say that.
Well, I thought it was a year, I think we redid it a year ago.
UNC, right here.
Yes, so on the order to comply, to remove the scraggly little trees, who's that made out to?
It's actually made out, I think, to me.
Well, that's okay, as long as it's not made out to what's required.
No, it's made out to Chris.
It's made out directly to
So we'll
me.
just add /UNC right after that. Because it's supposed to be made out to UNC, which is a weirdness. Is she gonna accept?
Well, it's the UNC representative from Western Heights.
That's what I'm saying.
Check, it's made up to me, UNC representative. UNC.
Yeah.
It is 8:40.
Yes, okay, so that's my report. You guys have questions, comment at the end?
Candace?
Oh, thank you. All righty, now we are at our DP report.
Okay,
Attendance and
hang on, let me
training.
get.
We're just at the baby. Yeah.
I don't.
We gotta.
Oh, hang on, I'm still talking to myself, very sorry, guys.
Actually, it's Sarah's turn.
Yeah, thanks so much to Grace, who's not here for me to say this to her, but I already said it to her. Thanks to Grace for taking minutes last month. I went through the meeting quickly and just verified things, and so I have looked them over, but, finishing here and there, but they are, mostly Grace's work. So
Okay,
I just wanted to.
so I'm posting on the screen the minutes and, how is it that you managed to?
Right, we had a roll call, or you had a roll call, I wasn't here. And thank you so much for your patience, it was my birthday and I just,
Now I can't.
yeah, I want Mark's there to make us some mud.
No, I'm trying to slide through.
Like, I'm not.
All
All right, we have funding requests, no presentation, sorry, funding requests. Can I talk about the bylaws, you talk about the bylaws.
Anybody can, except anyone who's.
Wait,
A few committee reports, that's fine, we're good. There were a few committee reports, and then the executive committee reported on each of their, jurisdictions. And then you guys adjourn.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Thank you.
Have that done by
Yes, we
now.
can just, yes.
Okay. So, so the next item is the vice president report. I have the attendance sheet in the drive, so I'm not gonna really go through it. So we do have a few people whose attendance is not as perfect as others. Getting to it. So essentially, the one that says 3, that's Grace. The one that says 4, that's Chris, I think. The next one that says 3 is Diana. And then as I slide down, the next 3 times absent is Jasmine. None of this includes tonight.
What was that name?
Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine.
And then, yeah.
Is she border?
So that, others, I'm giving you,
Sorry, I mean.
oh, even Michael has 3.
I do?
You do.
What does that mean, Laura?
Wait, Michael.
No, these are not necessarily excused versus unexcused, these are just absences. These were excused, and you did, yes. And, Joe King had 5, which we know, so, but this is, go up please go into the agenda packet, look at your own attendance record. It doesn't differentiate between excused or non-excused, but we also want to, keep reiterating, the people you represent expect your presence at our meetings. So please try, that's all I'm saying. So we don't have any more meetings like this. And then training. Congratulations to Hunter, Christopher, and also, even though it's not here, Sarah, you took gender.
Yeah, I'm up to date.
Yeah, I know you are. You're the only one who actually gave me a copy of the certificate.
Oh, it's if you go to your main page, it should be there. They actually have a place, each person's profile now on the Cornerstone, it's on there.
Oh, on the Cornerstone.
It should be there now.
Got it,
Like,
because on
trying to get it at the end is good.
on UNC, not so much. We only have,
Oh,
we don't have you. Well, I didn't take it yet.
so it's not showing up that I did it,
Correct.
even though the certificate is there.
This is from
Oh, it's waiting on
today.
it.
It's from today.
It's from today.
Yeah, I did it weeks ago.
Yes, you did. And I circled back, and you're the only person, because some other people are showing up here, you're the only person who sent me their certificate, that's why I know you took it. So some of you may have also.
So the system's not working again.
I think you need to reiterate that it's important that people send you the certificate.
Yes, I'm trying.
But it is kind of ridiculous that the system doesn't just, I mean, this is like the easiest thing. I don't do coding, it's the easiest thing for the system to send verification that somebody
Okay,
did.
guys, I get that, but what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to insult anybody who did take the training, but who I don't know about.
Yeah, but it's good for everybody.
Because your name is not showing up. The only people who are showing up online at the done is Christopher Weed and Hunter Reese. And not even Sarah, no, she's not showing up, but she sent me a certificate. So if you did take your gender expression and gender identity training, please send me your certificate. If you have any other training coming up, please send me your certificate. I'm keeping those because that's the best defense when I have to be nicely talking to Alfonso, Marco, and the other people at done. I can say, I got the certificate, what's wrong with y'all, right?
Okay, we're getting on in time.
All right. And for Joshua Pierce, we've appointed Joshua, so I'm gonna get Alfonso Joshua's information, because he emailed me earlier in the week to say, I'd like to take my training today. But he wasn't appointed yet.
Yeah, you just have to update the roster and send it to roster.
I will update the roster. Okay, I'm done.
All right, funding request, possible NPG to World Harvest. Who is speaking in this? Okay, that's being tabled. Wonderful. Committee reports, planning and zoning.
Oh, so we've been meeting only once a month instead of twice, and that is because we have the conflicting time date with the search sessions.
Oh, so okay, yeah.
So unfortunately, that means this next meeting's got a whole bunch of stuff on it. It'll be very interesting. Please come, because there's stuff ranging from protecting HPOZs in ED1 to new landscape, the new landscape plan. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Something about the mayor's latest,
Yes.
When is your next meeting?
The next meeting is the third Wednesday. I don't have a calendar up in front of me.
Wednesday, 15th?
something like that.
Right. And in the meantime, we also, we had a somewhat lively meeting regarding right across the street, Wilshire Tow. So it's SMP Wilshire Tow or Hanks Wilshire Tow, or just plain Wilshire Tow, is expanding their business. They've applied for an expansion of the wrong conditional use permit, not the one that used to cover the remote lot of their dispatch. But they didn't wait for anybody to act on it. They've already signed the lease and have started operating directly across the street. And there's already issues that I'm both seeing with my own eyes and getting some neighborhood complaints with weekly auctions of wrecked cars or abandoned cars. The tow trucks now once again racing up and down the streets. Repairs on 20th Street around the corner. You know, in other words, somebody's car, you feel sorry for these people, their cars were towed. They retrieve them and they don't run, so they get them towed around the corner so they can repair them on the street. Well, it's all illegal, but that was what was going on where we're sitting now. This used to be their quote remote lot. So the Community Redevelopment Agency purchased this lot, arranged for them to have a lot on Gage in an industrial zone, and it was like a double gift. And then the guy who made that arrangement, the then owner, sold the business to the new owner, really nice guy, but he didn't get the $8 million from this deal, right? That was the prior guy. So he was all excited to move his business so that everything is close together, and he didn't kind of know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't know how awful it is for the neighborhood. And in the meantime, we had advocated for decades to get rid of them. And, from the early 80s onward. And then we changed the zoning so that something like that could never come back. And they're looking for the loophole. So this is me being political, but unfortunately. But this will end up coming here, but what should be happening for those who are in the local area is you start talking to your neighbors to see what impacts, if any, are already occurring since they're operating the business before they have permission to be operating the business. So you can already see the impacts.
You said May the 15th, that's a Wednesday?
Yep.
Okay. And the time?
7:15 at the South Seas House and on
Yeah.
Zoom. And I still don't know all of it.
All right, we're gonna keep moving. Public safety, emergency preparedness, is there anything to look for?
Just, we're having success with our Wednesday, preparation, neighborhood preparation meetings. We have 2 more sessions. Everyone is welcome to come and join the last meeting. And we could advocate for you to get one of those. And crack radio, that's so cool. Everybody come, it's really interesting. We just talked about how to use radio and talk radio, walkie-talkies, and the differences among them. And when it's needed, possibility, we were thinking, just throwing out there that if down the line, if we wanted to have our own FMRS radio talkies in case of emergency, that for each region that we represent, maybe there'll be a team leader that could talk and just say what's happening in that region and neighborhood among each other, and that it would be property of Unnc as something that we have for our disposal for emergency preparedness.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Outreach committee?
The June 1st Community Resource Fair is on track. Thanks to the most organized person I know, Teresa. She's got all my paperwork in to fund an apartment. Got everything approved with done. Got the quote on the insurance. Thank you, Laura. And right now I'm just checking with. I've sent out about 15 requests to various departments in the city. I've gotten some responses back, but some of the people are telling me that they gotta take it up to chain of command to get it approved. But other than that, we're working. We're gonna be getting an updated flyer out to everybody to share with your stakeholders that you represent. We're gonna really have to get the word out so we can have some people to go to see the vendors. And we've been approved, Lay's Taco Truck has been approved. I gotta talk to you about that because I heard back from her about the payment, Teresa. So, yeah, everything is moving, clicking right along.
Thank you. Any other committee reports? Old business?
Oh, we're gonna have to get the polo shirt sizes from the new folks.
Oh, yes. And then we'll give that to you?
To Teresa, she's keeping track of that.
Okay, Teresa, did you get that? The new people, ordering shirts, they're gonna get their sizes to you?
Sure, I didn't really know I have to get in our stores, but yes.
Okay.
Whoever didn't, receive a t-shirt, please.
Have everybody here got their t-shirt?
It's actually a polo shirt, right?
A polo shirt,
I
yeah.
can't call it a t-shirt, polo shirt.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's.
So it's our new, Joshua, is that his name? Was just appointed?
Yes. Yes. Are we done?
Yes.
8:53, meeting adjourned.
All right.
Oh, wait. Michelle got everything straightened out with all her required classes.
All right. Hallelujah, hallelujah. That's all Let me just.
Bye, Diana. Good night, everybody.